Hello and welcome to Double Talk. I am Mark Steffen.
I'm Michael Mandel.
And today, what are we doing today, Michael?
Well, among other things, we are in the thick or towards the end of Negroni week. We will be drinking Negronis, Negroni alternatives on the second half of the show. First half of the show, as you remember, because we just did this, we went around Las Cruces trying to find out the bars that actually can make Negronis.
Right.
It's not a matter if they know how to make Negronis, because
none of them do. Really.
Nobody knew how to make Negronis. But if you have Campari, you can make Negronis. We will show a video in the first half, and the second half we're going to do a little.
We're going to make our own.
We're going to make our own alternative Negronis. One is a recipe from Charlotte Voisey from Small Screen Videos, which is a lighter Negroni, and the other is a variation I created for my wife.
Oh, okay. So that's coming right up.
Soon.
But before we get to that,
little
business to take care of, I want to say
it's still summer. Yes.
You know, Michael, before I come and do the show every week,
yes,
I go to Gents Barber Spa. And Lita does my hair. She gives me a shave, and she does my manicure. Now it's obvious she hasn't done it this week because
or last week.
Or last week, by the way.
Yes.
Because she's had some health. She has to be in the hospital. So I want to shout out to Lita. Please, Lita, get well. I know you are getting well, and I can't wait for you to get back to make me look good.
I can't wait either. Please, Lita, come back. This is horrible. You think that only the people on TV are looking. We have a TV screen here. I'm staring right at Mark. That's what I look at, by the way, Dee. That's why I never look in the camera. I'm looking at Mark here and his crazy hair.
And so anyway.
Get his hair back to normal.
So Lita, we can't wait for you to come back to make me TV ready like you always do.
Get better.
And
yes. Anything would help.
Anything would help.
Anything.
And
I'll drink to your health.
Well, you know, we've got
second half. Yes.
One of our favorite mixers for drinks is water.
No, it's not.
Scotch and water?
Oh, okay.
Water.
I don't do scotch and water, but...
Water isn't in a lot of
cocktails. You know what you make with water?
What?
Simple syrup.
Well, listen, we use ice, Michael, and that's
made
ice. With water.
Ice is made with water. Yes, that's true. We need that as a cooling agent.
And right now, there was water in the river, finally.
Why isn't there ice? That would be a lot more convenient. If you had ice in the river, then you wouldn't have to go through that stage of freezing it. You could just use it in your drinks right away.
I wouldn't want to drink the water in the river or use its ice either. Now,
don't worry, there's no water.
Here's what the river looks like most of the year.
Yeah.
Right? And here's what it looks like now.
With a barge on it.
No, well.
What's that? Is that a barge?
No, that's
an island?
An island.
An island.
Island in the stream.
We have more island than barge. So, you know that the flyer that the Sun News handed out that had all the pictures of New Mexico was 2 weeks ago?
Yes, it's a promo pamphlet.
And it looks, a promo of New Mexico is like a lot of picture of dirt formations, mountains,
ground,
stuff like that,
desert,
ground,
sands.
Pretty much dirt. And where there's no dirt, there's ancient buildings, which were all made out of dirt.
Yes.
So the Sun News, they were nice pictures, but when it came down to it, you turn one picture,
it's more dirt.
It's more dirt.
Well, if it was Ireland, it would be green grass and stone.
That's true. And
they built everything out of stone.
And sheep. You'd see sheep.
If it was
if it were New York City, it would be pictures of architecture.
Architecture and maybe some greenery here and there.
While I'm complaining a little about Sun News, they neglected 2 weeks ago to give me the comics page, and I called Sound Off, because that's what Sound Off's for, right? Important things.
I would think you would call the circulation department for that.
You would, but you can't, because you don't talk to anybody there. You just put in your number, and they give you an entire new paper. I didn't need an entire new paper. I needed the comics. So I called Sound Off, and I figured nothing would happen. But Tuesday, the woman who does Sound Off, because I recognize her voice from Sound Off, called me and asked if I had picked up my comics yet. I said, well, no, I forgot. Well, she said, well, we'll deliver it to you.
Sure, they will.
I was wondering how that was going to happen. So even 3 days later, it wasn't delivered. I thought maybe they'd bring it by itself or then maybe roll it up in my other paper. Okay. Obviously, that wasn't done. So I had to go pick it up myself at the newspaper. But I like the fact that she called me back, which means if you're on Sound Off, they know who you are.
Yeah, well, it still didn't solve your problem, did it?
No, it didn't.
So the wrong person called you back. Don't you have your carrier's phone number and name?
No.
I have mine.
Well, that's because you know all those guys.
Kathy Williams does a great job as my carrier, and has for years. And if I have a problem, I just call Kathy Williams. If you call the sound off, or not the sound off, if you call the Sun News Circulation and say I didn't get my paper,
you don't say it. You just press buttons.
They get fined.
Oh, really?
Your carrier gets fined. It may not even be their fault. The dog could have grabbed it and run off. Somebody could have stolen your paper.
Yeah, but if they just don't put the comics in, that means that the people who are putting it together screwed up on one. You know, there's at least 300 papers that they sell, right?
Easily.
And so one of them got screwed up. We want to roll. We want to roll our Negroni film because we have to get it into this first half. So we will talk a little bit over it. We went to 4 different bars.
4 or 5 or 6.
Well, we went to 6.
We'll talk about them as we go.
The first 4 did not even have Campari, which is one of the
key ingredient. There's only 3 ingredients in a Negroni. Campari is one of the important ones.
Yes.
So let's roll that in and we'll talk over it.
Here we go.
Our first stop was at Dublin's.
Dublin's. You could fill the screen up with that. We'll talk underneath
it. We'll just talk over it.
Dublin's. I never heard of that. Hilton wasn't even open.
Right. Dublin's.
We took a picture. Here's a picture.
They weren't even open.
We took a picture of their wine holder. There it is.
That's where the booze
It's locked
is.
because it's not open until a certain time of the day.
They don't open until 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
And we didn't see any Campari in that locked case. So we're guessing they don't have any Campari.
This is 3 in the afternoon, Michael. Now we went to Cattle Barons.
Interesting story there. We probably don't have time for it, but we'll tell it to you later about why they don't have Campari. De La Vega's is supposed to be a classy place. You'd think they'd have Campari.
They didn't. They said they used to.
They didn't.
They don't
used to. We did find Campari. We went, that's Amaro. Campari is like an Amaro. Pim's is sort of like an Amaro. Martini, there's Campari, just past it. Chino.
Go back. There it is. That's what Campari
looks like. It's at Kelly's.
And I think it's the good people at Campari who invented Negroni Week, don't you think?
Yes, they did. And Imbibe Magazine, which is a magazine for people who like to read about drinking, as I do.
I see, yes.
But there's a lot of stuff. Sunset Grill.
The first place that could make a Negroni.
Yes, and it's a classy place, so it's really good. My bartender from Palacios was there, and it was good to see him. And this should have sound.
Here he is.
It should have sound. Yes, it does.
But we'll talk over it.
You don't put it in the glass. You gotta mix it with ice.
I told him I didn't see
the tin is there.
Mike, stop interfering.
The tin is right
He didn't realize he had to shake it on ice.
Amateur week?
Yeah, he's not measuring.
Look at that. He's counting. That's like a partial shot. He's making 3.
That's right. After you started talking about Negronis, 2 other people at the bar decided they would have one.
Yeah. We offered them Negronis. I ended up treating them.
And he's eyeball. Yes, you did. That was very generous of you, Michael.
Yeah, this guy, and those guys' names were, Clyde? No, they said their name was Bonnie and Clyde first. It was Chris and Helen. And they were really nice, and they liked them.
Yeah, Chris and Helen. That's our bartender, Equal amounts, right? Who you can also see at Palacios.
Mark had to check him because eyeballing is not an easy way to make a cocktail.
Oh, no, I knew.
Because you have to do 3 equal parts.
Equal.
That's right. Now there goes the
twist of the lemon.
Lemon it is,
Yikes.
Look how he's so efficient. He can make 3 at once.
There's you, Michael, sitting at the end of the bar.
Is that me? I look a little feminine.
What's new? So, okay, he did kind of a
I tried to show him how to shake. You know, you shake it over your shoulder. The shaking is what really...
I don't think he's used to shaking a lot of cocktails.
No, he doesn't shake. He probably knows how to open a beer. And the people there were drinking gin and tonics, I think.
Had a long week.
Something like that.
Yep, one more day.
Good color, right? That's a great color. Red. It's apple, no,
Behold.
But Campari and red vermouth.
Alrighty. Negroni.
Hey, Negroni.
Hey,
Negroni, he says. They ordered 2, didn't they? We'll just have the one. Yeah, we just need 1.
Chairman needs to restart.
That must be mine because it's hairy.
Just one for you guys?
Yeah, we have a couple to do here.
I mean, if you guys wanted that one, didn't you?
Well, no, we've got one. So
Right. We're just doing one because we have other.
Well, happy Negroni.
Happy Negroni. Clink. A clink. Hers by association.
Yes.
Thank you.
Chris and Helen, ladies and gentlemen. That's not bad. I've never had one.
No, it's a pretty good balance. Yes.
I've never had one before, but that's not bad.
It's pretty good. That's
There, get a shot of me tasting it.
That's very good.
it's one of the best.
I can see
It's perfect.
Be looped on about 2 of those.
Yeah. Okay.
Yummy. Too much backlighting?
No.
Like Howard.
Okay.
He's always different.
And what fat you're drinking?
This is a Negroni.
And when is Negroni week?
Negroni week. It's a June 1st to the June 7th.
And there you have it, from the horse's mouth.
Down at the
That was the Sunset Grill. Oh, you were singing the song.
You left the audio in, Michael?
I left the audio on this because rarely do we get a chance to hear you sing. But we moved on.
We did move on because we knew there was another bar
to the famous
that knew how to make
Azul.
a Negroni.
Well, we were hoping. We didn't know if they did it or not. We were trying to find out who didn't. But they did.
Okay, and I'm pulling back, I'm pulling back, I'm pulling back. And we're going. There's a lovely Rhiannon.
Rhiannon. Whatever the Fleetwood Mac people say. So she was using Beefeater in that case. And of course, that was the red vermouth. And this looks like the Campari. What kind of gin did they use in Sunset Grill? You remember?
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace.
The worst, crappiest gin ever.
But this was Beefeater.
Yes. See, now she knows how to
Look at
shake.
that is classic shaking. You got to look on YouTube on the drinking channel.
She did that
to
better
see
than Joe, that's for sure.
And shaking is important because it aerates the alcohol and really makes them weld together. And she did a great little
There
twist.
she goes,
on
look
it.
at that. Beautiful.
That's a great twist.
The Negroni.
Alrighty. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Actually, no, you have to try it.
I love that little twist.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would. Yeah, she had to taste it, which is
She
good.
did taste it.
She
She
needed
knows
it.
what she's doing.
We were very impressed with Rhiannon, and she was very helpful to us. I was kind of impressed with Azul too because I rarely go there unless it's at a party on the patio, and then I'm never in the bar area.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Didn't they say they had more tequilas than anybody else?
I think she did say that.
I think she's interesting.
Yeah. Hi there. How are you today?
So yeah, so if you want a good, I would say the best Negroni in town, as far as we know, is at Azul, which is at Hotel Encanto. And then that's me drinking it.
And that was Mark tasting. You couldn't taste and hold the camera at the same time. You give us less? This one was just as big.
Bigger glass.
I think this one cost $9.
I like this
The
one
in
better
Sunset
than the
Grill
one
might
over
be
at Sunset.
7.
Better
It's
gin.
colder
because she shook it better.
And
a better market.
better. You know that Beefeater gives it a little bit more of a extra little flavor.
Yeah, it's like
Slight juniper.
Yeah.
There's a lot of juniper
Yeah.
in Beefeater. If you don't like juniper, you're not going to like it.
You wouldn't believe what
You know,
gin they use.
I like the balance of juniper though in the Bombay because they do use some juniper, but I like the balance better between the other things that are infused into
Did you
it.
ever have Hendrix? You've had Hendrix. Hendrix is great.
I actually really like his Wheelers.
Wheelers?
Have you had Wheelers?
No. I might have seen it, but I never thought it was a real.
Actually,
Is it from San
Fe.
Francisco?
No, it's Santa Fe distillery.
Somebody really appreciates this.
Yeah.
We're kind of twisted around here.
No.
But that's our adventure in the world of Negronis, as refers to Las Cruces. Now,
Yes, that was exciting. I just realized I once asked at Maison de Messia for a Negroni, and they sure didn't have one.
no, well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back, and we'll make our own Negronis right here.
We'll show
just
you
for
alternatives. Cheers.
Attention users of the blood-thinning drug Xarelto. If you or a loved one has been hospitalized or died from serious internal bleeding after taking Xarelto, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call the Sentinel Group now. Potential claims are being reviewed for users of Xarelto who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Our network of experienced attorneys are ready to help fight for you. You won't pay a thing until your case is settled. Call the Sentinel Group now. Don't wait.
Have you or a loved one suffered complications after uterine surgery from the use of a power morcellator? If so, call the Sentinel Group now. You may be entitled to significant compensation. The FDA estimates that 1 in 350 women undergoing a myomectomy or hysterectomy have unsuspected sarcoma or cancer in the uterus. The Sentinel Group's experienced network of attorneys have years of experience fighting big medical companies and is ready to fight for you. So if you've developed uterine cancer, call the Sentinel Group now for a free confidential consultation.
Listen up, America!
The price of life insurance has gone down 60% over the last 15 years. Many Americans know they need it, and some that have life insurance know they don't have enough. How would your family get by without you? How are you planning for the uncertainties of life? Find out how easy it is to protect the ones you love. The quote is free, and there are no obligations. Listen up, America. Call now.
Fiesta Motors. Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there. Celebrate Fiesta Motors, where buying a car is always a celebration.
An important message for Americans in need of health insurance. If there's been a recent change in your life, you are eligible for immediate protection under the Affordable Care Act. If you're uninsured because you missed the enrollment deadline, we can help. To get the protection you need, you can visit the Healthcare Exchange and spend hours exploring your options.
Or you can make a single call to Health Markets and let us do the legwork for you at no cost or obligation.
Call the number on your screen now. Operators are standing by. Get the coverage you need. Call now.
And we are back here in the Double Talk Mixology Station.
Yeah, you know, this is like one of the best setups one could ever find themselves in. A variety of alcohol, ice, which I hear that the Rio Grande River provides copiously.
No. And I'm eating peanuts and I can't keep my fingers off.
I know, because anyway, a Negroni, as we said, is standardly the Campari, which we showed you in the last segment. You can use, it's a red vermouth. This is Martini and Rossi red. You could use any type of red vermouth. Noilly Pratt makes a good one.
What kind do we have?
We have Martini and Rossi and gin. And it's all in 3 equal parts. Now, the thing about Campari is good because it balances with something sweet, which is red vermouth. This is similar to Campari because it's an Amaro. Amaro has a little bitter taste, and Campari is one of them. Aperol, too, serves as the same component, the Campari component. We found in my copious experiments at home that the Mileti Amaro makes a very good Negroni.
Now, which one are you going to do first?
I am going to do the standard because these two are going to make what Charlotte Voisy from the small screen videos came up with. This will be my own. These two plus the gin will be my own concoction. Now, we're just going to have little baby ones.
Okay, yeah. But it's equal parts, so it doesn't matter how big or how small.
No.
Now, do we know who invented the classic Negroni?
We do. There you go.
Who did invent the classic Negroni?
You know, the name Negroni is interesting because that's who invented it. Count Negroni.
Count Negroni. Well,
the history of the Negroni is that in Italy, in the 30s, they used to drink Americanos. Americanos were a really nice drink. It's pretty much a sweet vermouth and any kind of Amaro, which would have probably been Campari. standard drink. They now have things like Punti Mace and different things that have the same thing. So it's a sweet thing, a bitter thing, and they used to have soda water.
And soda water.
And a twist. Count Negroni comes to a bar in Florence where he lived.
Florence, Italy.
Italy, not South Carolina.
Yeah.
And he said, I need something with more of a kick. So he substituted gin for club soda, which was a great idea.
Who can blame him?
It's a good substitution. So this is sweet vermouth. You know, any of these by themselves taste pretty good. Here's our thing. Oh, did you want that there? There we go. And this too is a red Maletti. Hopefully the top comes off. Yes, it does. And you'll see what I mean about this. My wife and I decided is one of the most intelligent balances you'll ever taste in a drink. An intelligent balance.
A thinking man's drink.
A thinking man's drink. And here we go. This is the exciting part.
All right, show me what you got, Michael.
This is the exciting part. You we're not going to change view here, are we?
No. Oh,
did you get wet?
No, it hurts my ears.
We should have had both glasses iced, but in the studio we don't have the pleasures of home. And that should sort of do it.
Now, as Michael pours, you'll notice our glass is a little bit smaller than the standard martini glass. This is more like a Manhattan glass, isn't it? Or an old-fashioned glass.
No, this is for a travel kit.
Ah, you want to travel light.
Yes.
When you drink.
Ooh. Oh, that should be enough, I think. Here we go.
Michael, you always give me more. Why is that?
Body weight.
You're trying to get me drunk.
Body weight.
You're trying to take advantage of me, Michael.
Yes, because that's my only compensation from this job. Okay. Oh, and you're going to give some to our
esteemed producer.
It smells a lot different than the ones we had the other day, right?
I kind of prefer this, Michael.
It's very mellow.
I must say.
Yes. Yeah.
We don't have a twist today.
We don't have our lemon twist. Where's our
We're
stock
roughing
boy?
it here.
Stock boy.
We don't mind roughing it here for television purposes.
Why do you like this better?
I'm not sure.
It's got
because the substitution, we substituted this
Maletti for Campari. Campari is a little bit more bitter. More bitter.
More bitter?
More bitter.
Did you bring Campari?
No, because we had Campari the other 2 days. It's the same thing. They make it the same way.
Okay. So you have flexibility with this drink.
Yes, you can use other Amaros. There's a number that you can buy. They have Ramazzotti, which is a little sweeter than this. They sell that in toucan. This is hard to pick up.
You can't find it everywhere.
Averna makes a good one.
Let's go to Specs for this.
You might be able to find it in Specs.
Now, Amaro, that sounds like an Italian word.
Hey, Amaro is the name of the wine company that's in Las Cruces that makes wine. Amaro just means bitter.
Ah, okay.
And bitter wine. Well, I'll knock this back.
I know you can do it.
We'll get started on the other one.
Now, it's always good to clear your palate, maybe with a little nut or a cracker, piece of cheese.
Give me the water.
We're going to rinse out.
I'll rinse this out.
Now,
we have great standards here.
We are sure there are other bars in Las Cruces besides the two we went to.
Yeah, we're sure.
We're sure. Who can make a Negroni as Negroni week comes to
a close.
I
know who definitely has it, of all places.
Who?
Olive Garden, because it's Italian, and they do have.
They should be able to do it.
They have both Campari and Aperol.
Yeah, did you say Double Eagle also can make one?
I think Double Eagle. Yes, Double Eagle can make it, and they have good stuff too. They have Campari. I think you have to get the right waitress, but they do have. As long as they have Campari, you just tell them what the ingredients are. You don't mind if I touch that, do you?
Well, the alcohol will kill all your germs, mostly.
It has so far.
Now, our bartender over at the Sunset Grill, Joseph, also works at Palacios. So do you think he'll get Palacios to get a bottle of Campari?
Well, let's see.
So I've been going there. Get a Negroni?
I've been going there for over 10 years, and I've talked to him about it, and that never happened.
Well, now that you forced him to make one at the other bar, he might finally do it.
This one is the Charlotte Voisey recipe.
Now
Equal parts. She's a bartender.
She's a mixologist, journalist.
Yes, and
cocktail journalist.
She goes all over the country. She represents Hendrick's Gin.
Give me that napkin there, will you?
You want the napkin? Sure.
Let me mop up after you.
So that's Aperol. This studio stuff is tough.
Who knew you could be a cocktail journalist?
It's a pretty good job. She goes around showing to people recipes. This is Lillet, which is
it's like a wine.
It's a white wine. It's an aperitif from France.
But it's
you can definitely get this. No, it's not.
You say it's kind of sweet. It's not dry.
No, it's not dry. It's yeah. We're doing two things that kind of have a great balance. This is sort of it's going to be a whiter one. You better kill your other one.
Oh yeah. Now, you know, my favorite show on TV now is Best Bars in America, where these two comedians go around the country and they go to the best dive bars in the country, and
they drink a lot of beer.
Yeah, they also drink a lot of
I gotta
interesting
shake this
cocktails.
quick. Yes. Okay, here's the good part. There's a lot of good bars in the country. You have to go to craft bars or vintage bars.
Vintage bars and dive bars.
One-handed.
All right, we have 2 minutes, Michael.
All right. Well, we could drink this all day then. See, this is lighter. Wanna give me your glass?
There we go. Fill her up.
Whee!
Now, if you've ever seen this show before, you know that we're into cocktails, food, drink, and socializing.
And if you know us, that's pretty much what you know. So we use some weird things which you can get easily.
And once you know them, they're not weird.
Yes, they should be
it's
a
way of
standard.
life.
This one is a lot lighter than the other one because, of course, it has Lillet.
Now that's not the same drink, Michael.
No, it's way different.
We need a new name for that drink.
Well, it's called the alternative Negroni.
Call it a Negroni.
You know why? Aperol has more of a fruity flavor, so it brings a little fruitness into it, a fruit. And the Lillet is, you say it's sweet, but it's not that sweet.
No, it's not. Thankfully. I'm not a huge fan of the sweetie drinks.
The sweetie ones.
The sweetie ones.
Oh, here. I'll give you some more.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it needs more gin.
Did you cheat us on the gin?
Didn't cheat us on the gin. But maybe some things need a different. One thing
that
about
makes all the
being
difference right there.
a new mixologist is trying different things out, knowing what to add.
And you're always learning, and that's the important part. And I'm always learning too, and we hope that you continue to learn with us.
And gosh,
on our journey through cocktail land.
Yes, and maybe next week we'll tell you the story of Cattle Baron, where they used to have a bottle of Campari, but it turns out in the last 2 years, I was the only one who ever took advantage of it.
And our search will go on in Las Cruces and maybe even El Paso.
And if you have suggestions,
for the best Negroni,
call us up. Cheers.
Cheers to Las Cruces.
See you next week.
Hmm.